The sky above Zithera was a swirl of glowing colors like paint spilled across a vast canvas. Twin moons floated silently, casting soft silver light across the forest that stretched as far as the eye could see. In the heart of this beautiful planet stood the grand palace of the Ailari, a race of intelligent, graceful beings who lived in harmony with nature. Queen Lysera, the ruler of this peaceful civilization, walked through her palace gardens, her long silver hair catching the moonlight. She held the tiny hand of her young daughter, Alia, a curious and bright-eyed child who loved asking questions about everything. "Mother," Alia said, pointing at the glowing flowers, "why do these flowers shine only at night?" "They shine to remind us that even in darkness there is beauty," Lysera replied, smiling gently. She loved these moments with her daughter. Alia's laughter was like music, echoing softly across the palace halls. But peace, as it often does, was fragile. In the distant reaches of space, hidden among the dark asteroids, a band of rogue raiders plotted their next strike. They were not citizens of any world. They lived only for greed and chaos. Their leader, a tall figure with a scarred face, studied holographic maps of Zithera, his eyes glinting with ambition. "The child is the key," he said, his voice rough. "Bring her to me and the queen will have no choice but to surrender everything." His crew nodded in agreement, eager for the reward promised. Unseen by the Ailari, the raiders began moving closer, using cloaked ships to avoid detection. Back at the palace, Alia ran ahead of her mother, chasing a small, glowing butterfly. She giggled as it danced in the air, its light flickering like a tiny star. "Look, mother. It's so pretty." Lysera followed slowly, her heart full of love but also a lingering worry. She had sensed a strange disturbance earlier in the day, a flicker of shadow in the forests, a feeling she could not explain. The palace guards had reassured her, but she could not shake the uneasy sensation. Suddenly, a bright light filled the garden, and the ground shook violently. The air was filled with the roar of engines and the metallic clang of alien ships landing. Alia froze, her eyes wide with fear. Lysera rushed forward, her voice trembling. "Stay behind me, Alia," she commanded. Before they could react, the raiders' cloaked figures appeared. They moved quickly, almost like shadows, and in a matter of moments they grabbed Alia and lifted her into their ship. Lysera reached out, her hands brushing her daughter's arm, but it was too late. The ship vanished into the sky, leaving only the echo of Alia's frightened scream behind. Lysera fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. Her heart felt as if it had been ripped from her chest. "Alia," she cried, her voice breaking. Guards rushed to her side, forming a protective circle, but the queen's grief was too deep for words. The palace council convened immediately. Holograms of the stolen child appeared on the screens, showing the raiders' ship disappearing into the stars. "Your Majesty," one council member said cautiously, "we have detected their course. They are headed toward the asteroid belt near the outer rim." Lysera nodded, trying to steady herself. "Prepare all available ships. We cannot lose her. She is my daughter. She is our future." Even as the Ailari scrambled to organize a rescue, the odds seemed grim. The raiders were known for their cunning and speed, and many had tried to track them before and failed. But Lysera refused to give up hope. She believed in courage, in unity, and in the possibility that help could come from unexpected places. Far away, on a human colony orbiting a distant star, Captain Marcus Hale sat in the command room of his ship, the Valor. His team was completing routine maintenance when a message arrived. The signal was faint but urgent, a distress call from Zithera. Marcus adjusted his seat and listened carefully. The message was from Queen Lysera herself. Her voice, though trembling, carried authority and desperation. "A human soldier. Please, help my daughter. She has been taken by raiders." Marcus felt a sharp tug in his chest. He had faced danger before, rescued countless people in war zones and pirate attacks. But something about this message struck a deeper chord. It was not only a call for help, it was a plea from a mother, from a civilization known for peace and wisdom. He turned to his crew. "We're going to Zithera. Prepare the ship for immediate departure. This is not just a mission, it's a chance to save a life and maybe more." His first officer, Lieutenant Kara, raised an eyebrow. "The outer rim is dangerous, Captain. Raiders there are unpredictable and heavily armed." "I know the risks," Marcus said firmly, "but we can't ignore a call for help. A child's life is worth any danger." As the Valor leapt into warp speed, Marcus reviewed the available information. Zithera was a peaceful planet with little need for weapons, which made them vulnerable. The Raiders were experts in stealth and subterfuge, but humans had something the Raiders did not: ingenuity, courage, and determination. Meanwhile, on Zithera, the Queen's Guard searched every corner of the forests and plains for clues. They found traces of the Raiders' energy shields, small remnants of the ship's landing, but nothing more. Alia had been taken cleanly, leaving behind only the faintest footprints in the glowing grass. Lysera sat alone in her chambers, holding a small silver pendant that Alia had always worn. "Please return to me safely," she whispered. She had faith in her people, but she also prayed to the universe itself, hoping some force would guide a savior to her daughter. Days passed. The Alari scouts reported sightings of the Raiders' ship near dangerous asteroid fields. Most Alari were too gentle to engage in battle, and they knew the Raiders thrived in conflict. But Marcus and his crew were approaching fast, ready to confront danger head-on. On board the Valor, Marcus studied the Raiders' tactics. He anticipated traps, plotted courses through asteroid fields, and prepared his team for every possibility. He spoke to them not just as soldiers, but as human beings capable of compassion. "Remember," he said, "we're not just fighting for strategy. We're fighting for a life. Keep that in mind, and you'll find strength even in the darkest places." The journey was long, but Marcus never wavered. He thought of Alia's small hands, her laughter, and the fear in her eyes. That image drove him forward. Humanity had faced impossible odds before, and humanity had survived. He would not let fear or uncertainty stop him now. Finally, the Valor reached the outskirts of the asteroid belt. Jagged rocks floated in the void, spinning slowly like massive stones in a cosmic river. Sensors detected the Raiders' cloaked ship nearby. Marcus gripped the console tightly. This was the moment when planning met reality. "Brace for turbulence," he said. The ship lurched as they entered the field, dodging massive asteroids with precision. Every maneuver was calculated, yet Marcus trusted his instincts honed by years of navigating danger. As they moved deeper, a faint signal appeared on the scanners. It was Alia's pendant. Somehow the ship emitted a traceable energy that human technology could detect. Marcus smiled briefly. Hope had found them, but danger was never far behind. Sensors beeped urgently. The Raiders were aware of their presence and had begun deploying drones. Marcus leaned forward, eyes sharp. "Prepare for engagement. Stay calm, stay focused. Remember why we're here." Even as alarms blared and lights flickered, Marcus felt a deep resolve. He was a human, far from his homeworld, facing unknown alien threats. Yet he knew one truth above all. Humanity's courage and compassion could shine through even the darkest of times. And somewhere, in the shadows of the Raiders' fortress, Alia waited, afraid, alone, but not yet without hope. Unseen by her, a human soldier was coming for her, driven not by duty alone, but by the simple, powerful desire to protect an innocent life. The rescue had not yet begun. The adventure, the danger, and the chance for heroism were all just ahead. But Marcus was ready. Humanity was ready, and the bond between a mother and her child would guide them all through the trials to come. The stars outside the viewport seemed to shimmer brighter as the Valor pressed onward, carrying with it the promise that no child, no matter how far from home, would be left behind. The Valor glided deeper into the asteroid belt surrounding Zithera, a twisting labyrinth of jagged rocks and floating debris. Each asteroid was like a massive, spinning mountain in space, their rough surfaces glinting faintly under the distant light of Zithera's twin moons. Captain Marcus Hale tightened his grip on the control console as his eyes scanned the radar. Among the silent rocks, the cloaked raider ship waited, hidden but not invisible to human technology. "Lieutenant Kara," Marcus said, pointing to a flickering blip on the screen. "That's our target. Keep the shields at maximum. I don't want even the smallest collision." Kara nodded, her fingers flying over the control panels. "Shields holding at 98%. But Captain, these asteroids aren't natural. They've been arranged like a maze." Marcus's jaw tightened. "Good. That means the Raiders are expecting someone. Perfect. Let's make sure they never see us coming." The asteroid belt was more than just a hazard. It was a trap. The Raiders used the rocks to hide their patrol drones, laser turrets, and cloaked surveillance satellites. But Marcus was prepared. Humans had survived wars, pirate attacks, and planetary sieges by relying on creativity, strategy, and courage. This mission was no different. Helm, plot a course that takes us through the densest section, Marcus ordered. We'll use the rocks as cover. Drones can't see what their sensors can't detect. As the Valor twisted and turned through the maze, alarms suddenly blared. Red lights flashed across the cockpit. Drones detected, Kara shouted. They're moving in from the north and south. Marcus didn't hesitate. Evasive maneuvers. He pushed the console forward, sending the ship spiraling in a controlled barrel roll. The human team held tight as the ship dodged rapid-fire laser beams from the Raider drones. Sparks erupted from the side of the ship, but Marcus's planning had accounted for this. Every human on the Valor knew their role. Return fire carefully, Marcus instructed. We disable, we don't destroy. We're not here for revenge. We're here for the child. Laser pulses lit up the dark expanse as humans and Raiders clashed among the rocks. The Valor's weapon systems, designed for precision, targeted only the drones, sending them spinning harmlessly into space. Each successful strike brought Marcus closer to his goal, finding Alia. Amid the chaos, Marcus paused to consider the situation. The Raiders were more than just thieves. They were organized, intelligent, and cruel. They had taken a child for leverage, showing no regard for life. But humans had something they lacked: compassion and ingenuity. Marcus smiled grimly. We'll show them why humanity survives. Hours passed as the Valor navigated the deadly asteroid field. Marcus studied the patterns of the Raiders' patrols, predicting their next moves before they even appeared. This was a battle of wits as much as skill. They're trying to herd us into a dead end, he muttered. Not today. Kara leaned over the console. Captain, sensors are picking up a faint energy signature. It matches the description of Alia's pendant. Could it really be her? Marcus's eyes lit up. Bring it up on the main screen. The display focused on a tiny blip deep within the asteroid field. It was weak but unmistakable. That's her. That's our path. The crew fell silent, understanding the gravity of the moment. Every maneuver from now on mattered. One wrong move, one miscalculation, and Alia could be lost forever. Marcus took a deep breath. Helm, adjust course. We follow the signal. Weapons ready, shields at full. Everyone stay alert. The Valor moved with deliberate caution, weaving between massive asteroids. Marcus felt the tension rise with each passing second. Then a shadow flickered across the screen. The Raiders had noticed the human ship. Captain, multiple ships emerging from cloak, Kara yelled. Marcus's mind raced. We don't have time for a straight fight. Engage stealth protocol. Use the rocks for cover and get closer to the pendant's signal. We go in fast, strike smart, and get out. The Valor became almost invisible against the dark rocks. Human technology, combined with Marcus's strategic mind, allowed them to approach the Raiders without being immediately detected. The Raiders' own traps worked against them. The ship's sensors picked up automated defenses, which Marcus carefully avoided. Hours turned into tense minutes as they closed in. The pendant's energy signature grew stronger, guiding them to the hidden fortress where Alia was being held. Marcus studied the layout through intercepted communications and satellite scans. The Raiders had constructed a fortress inside a hollow asteroid, a natural fortress turned deadly with energy shields, laser grids, and patrols. This is it, Marcus said quietly. Get ready for the infiltration. Remember, this is a rescue mission, not a battle. Keep your focus on the child. Kara nodded, checking her equipment. All systems ready. Boarding drones prepared for deployment. Marcus smiled slightly. Good. Let's bring her home. Meanwhile, in the fortress, Alia sat in a small, dimly lit cell. Her hands gripped the edge of the stone bench, and her large eyes reflected fear and confusion. She remembered the glowing gardens, her mother's gentle voice, and the warmth of the palace. Mother, she whispered, her voice trembling. A guard sneered at her. Quiet, little one. Your mother won't come for you. Nobody will come for you. Alia clenched her fists, refusing to cry. Deep down, she believed someone would come. She didn't know who, but she could feel it. A presence that would guide her back to safety. Back on the Valor, Marcus prepared the boarding drones. Each was small, agile, and equipped with sensors and grappling hooks. We go in silently, Marcus said. No unnecessary noise. Stay low, stay smart. Remember, the child is our priority. The drones deployed, gliding silently toward the fortress. Marcus and his crew monitored every movement, providing guidance from the safety of their ship. Human technology and teamwork allowed them to bypass the outer defenses, slipping past patrols and laser grids with precision. As the drones reached the cell, Alia noticed them immediately. Who are you?" she asked, her voice shaking. "Someone who's here to help?" Marcus's voice replied softly through the drone's speaker. "We're going to get you out. Can you stand?" Alia nodded, her small hands trembling. Yes, I can." The drones carefully lifted her out of the cell, navigating the fortress with Marcus's guidance. Every step was dangerous. Laser turrets turned, guards patrolled, and the fortress's energy shield hummed ominously. But Marcus stayed calm, calculating each move. "Almost there," he said. "Just a little farther. Hold on, Alia." Finally, after tense moments that felt like hours, the drones reached the exit. Alia was safe, at least for the moment. Marcus instructed them to ascend to a safe altitude within the asteroid belt, away from the raiders' immediate detection. From the Valor, Marcus watched the small figure of Alia, relieved. "You're doing great, kid. Stay close to the drones." "We're not done yet," the raiders noticed immediately. Alarms blared inside the fortress. "Intruders! Protect the child!" Marcus didn't flinch. "Evasive maneuvers. Keep her safe. We'll shake them off." The Valor launched countermeasures, decoys, energy pulses, and smoke clouds to confuse the raiders' sensors. The human crew worked in perfect harmony, their courage and ingenuity keeping Alia safe while they navigated the deadly asteroid maze. Hours of careful maneuvers later, the Valor reached open space beyond the asteroid belt. Alia, finally out of immediate danger, looked at Marcus with wide eyes. You saved me?" she asked, disbelief and relief mixing in her voice. Marcus smiled gently. "Yes, kid. You're safe now, and we're going to take you back to your mother." Alia's eyes welled with tears. "My mother?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. Marcus nodded. "Yes, we'll get her back to you. I promise." The journey back to Zithra had only just begun, but Marcus felt a deep sense of purpose. Humans were capable of incredible courage and compassion, he thought. This mission was not just a rescue. It was a testament to what humans could do when faced with danger and injustice. As the Valor sped toward Zithra, Alia sat quietly, holding Marcus's hand. Though she was still frightened, she felt a glimmer of hope. Far away, her mother waited, unaware that a human soldier was carrying her daughter safely back home. And Marcus, looking at the stars ahead, felt the weight of responsibility and the pride of humanity. No matter the danger, no matter the odds, humans would rise to meet it. The stars outside the viewport shone brighter than ever, as if the universe itself recognized the courage, ingenuity, and heart of one human soldier, and the hope he carried for a child in a world that had never known war. The Valor floated silently just outside the asteroid where the raiders had hidden their fortress. Marcus Hale studied the massive rock formation through the viewport, his eyes narrowing. The asteroid had been hollowed from the inside, creating a fortress that was both natural and deadly. Energy shields glowed faintly around its edges, pulsating like a heartbeat. "Here's the plan," Marcus said to his crew. "We can't attack head-on. The shields will destroy us. We go in smart, quiet, and precise. Boarding drones first. We'll map the interior. Then we go in ourselves," Lieutenant Kara nodded. "All systems ready, Captain." "Drones are standing by." Marcus activated the drones. Small, agile machines zipped toward the fortress, slipping through the asteroid's jagged surface. Each drone sent back a live feed of the interior. Marcus studied every hallway, turret, and patrol route. The raiders had prepared well, but humans were better at improvising. "They've set traps," Kara observed. "Laser grids, patrol drones, automated doors. But the layout is predictable. I can see a pattern." "Good," Marcus said. "We'll use it against them. Their own overconfidence will be their weakness." Hours of careful observation passed. Finally, the drones located Alia's cell. It was small and dimly lit, guarded by 2 burly raiders and a laser turret. The energy shield around the cell flickered intermittently, a small flaw that Marcus noted. "That's our way in," he said. The human crew prepared for the boarding. Marcus put on his combat suit, a sleek, lightweight armor designed for agility and protection. He strapped on a utility belt filled with tools, grappling hooks, and energy disruptors. "Remember," he said to his team, "we are not here to fight for sport. We are here to rescue a child. Focus on her, nothing else." The team moved in silence, sliding down the asteroid's surface on grappling cables. They avoided the fortress's main entrances, using narrow crevices and hidden shafts to bypass patrols. Marcus led the way, his mind calculating every movement. Each step was a balance between caution and speed. Inside the fortress, the raiders were unaware of the intruders. Alia sat on the cold floor, clutching her pendant. She had not eaten, barely slept, and fear had begun to weigh heavily on her small shoulders. She tried to remain brave, remembering the stories her mother told her about courage. Suddenly, a small shadow moved across the floor. Alia looked up and gasped. A drone hovered in front of her, its light soft and reassuring. "Hello," a calm human voice spoke through the speaker. "I'm here to help. Can you stand?" Alia nodded, trembling. Yes, I can." "Good, hold on tight. We'll get you out." The drones moved carefully, guiding Alia through hidden passages. Marcus monitored every motion, his heart pounding. Every patrol could spot them, every turret could fire. But humans had something the raiders did not: strategy, patience, and courage. As they moved deeper into the fortress, alarms suddenly blared. One of the raiders had spotted a small shadow. "Intruders!" the guard shouted. "Seal the corridors!" Marcus's fingers flew over his console. Deploy the countermeasures. Smoke drones, energy pulses, and decoys. Keep her safe, no matter what. Outside Alia's view, the drones created illusions of movement, confusing the raiders. Laser turrets fired at shadows, missing their target entirely. Patrol drones spun in circles, tracking nothing real. The humans' precision and calm under pressure allowed them to move Alia safely through the fortress. Finally, they reached the final corridor before the exit. 2 guards blocked the path, and a turret swung slowly toward them. Marcus knew this would be the most dangerous moment. He activated the energy disruptor, sending a pulse that temporarily disabled the turret. Then, using his grappling hook, he swung into action, silently knocking out the first guard. Kara followed, taking the second guard with a quick, non-lethal strike. Alia's eyes widened in awe. You saved them?" she whispered. Marcus smiled briefly. "We're here to save you. That's all that matters right now." The team moved quickly, guiding Alia toward a maintenance hatch that led outside. The fortress's energy shield was still active, but they had calculated a small gap where the shield's pulse was weakest. Marcus timed it perfectly, and the team slipped through the opening, Alia in the center, safe and unharmed. Once outside, the Valor awaited. Marcus activated the tractor beam, pulling them aboard. Alia's feet touched the deck, and she collapsed into Marcus's arms, exhausted but safe. "We're on the ship," he said gently. "You're safe now. Can you walk?" Alia nodded, leaning against him. Thank you. Thank you for saving me." Marcus held her close, feeling a surge of pride and relief. "No thanks needed. You're safe, and that's what matters." The raiders quickly realized what had happened. Lights flashed on their sensors. Alarms screamed across the fortress. Ships scrambled to intercept the Valor, but Marcus was ready. He engaged the ship's thrusters, weaving through the asteroid belt with expert precision. "Shields holding at maximum," Kara reported. "But they're launching drones at us." "Good," Marcus said calmly. "We'll show them what humans can do." Laser fire lit the darkness of space as the raiders attacked. The Valor dodged and countered, using agility and clever maneuvers to stay ahead. Marcus used every tool at his disposal: decoy drones, energy pulses, and precise bursts from the ship's weapons. One by one, the raider drones were disabled, spinning harmlessly into the void. Alia watched, wide-eyed. Are we fighting them?" she asked quietly. Marcus nodded, his eyes on the radar. "We're protecting you. That's the only reason." Hours passed in tense maneuvers, but human ingenuity won the day. The raiders were forced to retreat, unable to match the combination of precision, strategy, and courage displayed by Marcus and his team. Finally, the asteroid belt was behind them. The Valor entered open space, and Alia looked at Marcus with gratitude and awe. You saved me," she said again, tears in her eyes. Marcus smiled warmly. "Yes, kid. And now we're going to take you home. Your mother is waiting." As the ship sped toward Zithera, Marcus reflected on what had just happened. Humans were not the strongest species in the galaxy. They did not have natural powers, advanced shields, or psychic abilities. But they had something more important: courage, intelligence, and compassion. These qualities allowed them to face impossible odds and succeed where others would fail. Alia's small hand held his, and he felt the weight of responsibility. He promised silently that nothing would harm her again. He would use every skill, every bit of human ingenuity to make sure she returned safely to her mother. On Zithara, Queen Lysera waited, her heart heavy with worry. She did not know if her daughter was alive or if anyone could reach her in time. But somewhere in the darkness of space, a human soldier moved with courage and determination, defying danger and showing the strength of humanity. The journey back would be long and the dangers were not over. But Marcus had proven one undeniable truth. When humans acted with purpose, courage, and heart, nothing could stop them from doing what was right. And somewhere deep inside Alia, hope began to bloom. She could not see her mother yet, but she knew someone was fighting for her, a human with determination stronger than any weapon, whose mission was simple: bring her home safely. The stars outside the viewport shone with promise, as if the universe itself recognized the courage, skill, and heart of one human soldier, and the hope he carried for a lost child, a worried mother, and a peaceful planet that had never faced such darkness before. Marcus looked at the stars, Alia beside him, and knew that no matter what lay ahead, they would succeed. Humans had risen before in the face of danger, and they would rise again. This mission was more than a rescue. It was a testament to humanity's power, courage, and spirit. And as Zithara's glow appeared faintly in the distance, Marcus whispered to himself, "Almost home, kid. Almost home." The Valor entered Zithara's atmosphere like a silver streak across the twilight sky. Twin moons glowed softly, casting gentle light across the sprawling forests and crystal rivers of the planet. Marcus Hale guided the ship with care, mindful of every twist of the landscape below. Alia sat beside him, her small hands gripping his arm tightly. She was tired but alert, eyes wide with wonder at the familiar world beneath them. "Almost home," Marcus said softly. "Just a little longer." Alia nodded, her voice quiet. "Do you think Mother knows I'm coming back?" Marcus smiled. "She'll know. Mothers always know." As the ship descended toward the palace, Queen Lysera stood on the balcony gazing at the horizon. Her heart had been heavy for days. The palace was quiet, too quiet, without the laughter of her daughter echoing through the halls. She had prayed for Alia's safety, hoping some force in the universe would guide a protector to her. And now, as the silver streak of the Valor grew larger, her heart began to race with hope. "Captain Marcus Hale," a voice called from below. One of the Queen's aides had been monitoring the Valor's approach. "The child is aboard and the ship is landing safely." Lysera's eyes widened. "Bring her here," she whispered, tears already forming. "Bring her to me." The ship's landing gear touched the ground with a soft hiss. The hatch opened and Marcus stepped out first, holding Alia's hand. The young girl stumbled forward but stayed close to him, her small frame trembling from exhaustion and relief. "Mother," Alia screamed, breaking into a run as she reached Queen Lysera. The Queen's hands shot out instinctively, catching her daughter in a tight embrace. Tears streamed down both their faces as they held each other, clinging as if the very act of touching could erase the past days of fear and separation. Marcus stood quietly nearby, watching. His heart swelled with pride and relief. Humanity had faced countless dangers, but moments like this reminded him why courage mattered. It was not about victory in battle, but about protecting life and love, ensuring that hope survived even in the darkest times. Lysera pulled back slightly to look at Alia's face. "My brave little one," she whispered, her voice shaking. "You are safe. You are safe." Alia clung to her mother, sobbing with happiness. It was a man, Mother," she said between tears. "A human. He saved me. He brought me back." Lysera turned her gaze toward Marcus. For the first time, she truly saw the human who had crossed the galaxy to rescue her daughter. "You," she said softly, bowing her head slightly in respect. "You saved my child. I cannot thank you enough." Marcus shook his head, a gentle smile on his face. "No thanks needed, Your Majesty. I just did what anyone would do. You raised her well, and I simply made sure she got home safely." The Queen stepped closer to him, her eyes filled with gratitude and awe. "Humans, you are more than I imagined. Brave, clever, compassionate. You carry hope wherever you go. Alia is safe because of you." Marcus felt a warmth in his chest. Humans often wondered if their courage and kindness mattered in the vastness of the universe. Standing here, witnessing the reunion of a mother and daughter, he knew the answer. It mattered. More than anything, Alia's small hand tugged at Marcus's sleeve. Can you stay for a little while? She asked, her voice shy. I want to tell you everything. Marcus chuckled softly. I'll stay as long as you need, kid. Inside the palace, the queen invited Marcus to a ceremonial hall filled with glowing plants and softly shimmering crystals. The Elari had prepared a welcome to honor the human who had risked everything for one of their own. Walls glowed with light and soft music played from unseen instruments, creating an atmosphere of reverence and peace. Lysera motioned to Marcus. Please sit with us. We wish to honor your courage and your heart. Marcus sat, careful to stay humble despite the honor being given. He had seen many awards and accolades, but none carried the weight of what had just happened. Here he had saved a life, reunited a family, and shown that humans could rise above fear to do what was right. The queen's advisors watched silently as she spoke, her voice filled with emotion. Captain Marcus Hale, on behalf of the Elari people, I thank you. You have not only rescued my daughter but reminded us of the goodness that exists in the universe. Humanity has shown strength beyond weapons and strategy. It has shown heart, wisdom, and courage. Marcus bowed his head slightly. I only did what I felt was right, Your Majesty. Humans are not perfect, but we try, and today I tried to do the right thing. Alia climbed onto the chair beside her mother, holding Marcus's hand. Mother, he didn't just save me from them, she said. He stayed calm, he planned everything, and he was so brave. He's a hero. Lysera smiled at Marcus, her eyes glistening. Your courage has changed our lives, Marcus. You are not only a hero to my daughter and me, but to all our people. We will never forget your deeds. Marcus shook his head, feeling slightly embarrassed by the praise. I'm no hero. I just did what I had to do. Any human would have. The queen laughed softly, a sound of pure relief and joy. Perhaps, but you did it better than anyone could have imagined, and your heart guided your actions as much as your skill. That is what makes you extraordinary. Alia leaned against Marcus, exhausted but happy. Will you visit us again? She asked. I want to learn about humans, and maybe I can help you someday. Marcus ruffled her hair gently. I'll visit, kid. And who knows? Maybe humans and Elari can learn from each other. We're stronger together. The queen nodded in agreement. Yes. Let this day mark the beginning of a new friendship. Humanity has proven itself worthy, and I will ensure that our people remember this. Your courage is a bridge between our worlds. Marcus stood looking out at the glowing city beyond the palace walls. He thought of the vastness of space, the dangers they had faced, and the lives that could have been lost. Yet here in the glow of Zithara's twin moons he saw hope restored. The mission had been perilous, but it had reminded him, and all of them, what courage, ingenuity, and compassion could achieve. Lysera placed her hands on Marcus's shoulders. Please accept this token of our gratitude. She handed him a small crystal glowing with soft golden light. It carries the essence of our planet's energy. May it remind you of this day and the bond you have created between our people. Marcus accepted it humbly, feeling its warmth. Thank you, Your Majesty. I will treasure it. The palace gates opened and people from the city came forward to honor Marcus. Alia ran ahead to greet them, telling them the story of how a human soldier had rescued her from danger. The citizens cheered and Marcus felt a swell of pride, not in himself but in humanity. Humans had faced great challenges, yet they could rise, brave the unknown, and protect life. Lysera turned to Marcus. Please stay a while longer. Share your stories with us. Teach our people what it means to be brave, to be wise, and to care deeply for others. Marcus smiled. I will. And I hope your people will share their wisdom with us too. We have much to learn from each other. The evening fell, painting the skies with deep blues and purples. Alia and her mother sat together, holding hands, talking softly and laughing quietly. Marcus watched from nearby, a sense of deep satisfaction settling over him. The fear and danger were behind them. The child was safe. The mother reunited, and humanity's courage had shone brightly. As the night deepened, Marcus looked up at the twin moons. He thought of the galaxy beyond Zithara, of dangers still lurking and of lives still in need of help. But he knew one truth. When humans acted with courage, intelligence, and heart, they could make a difference, even among the stars. Alia looked up at Marcus, her eyes full of admiration. You're amazing, she said softly. Marcus chuckled. Not amazing, kid. Just human. And humans. We don't give up when it matters most. The Queen placed her hand on Marcus's arm. You have reminded us all, Captain, of what is possible. Courage, compassion, and cleverness. These are the marks of greatness, and today humanity has shown them in full. Marcus nodded, feeling the weight and joy of her words. Humanity had always strived to be more than its limits. Today, on a distant alien world, they had done just that. And as the stars twinkled above Zithra, and Alia slept peacefully in her mother's arms, Marcus knew that the bond between humans and Aelari had been forged in courage, hope, and love, a bond that would endure long into the future. The universe was vast and full of unknown dangers, but one truth remained. Humans could rise to meet any challenge, protect the innocent and inspire hope across the stars. And that night, Zithra slept peacefully once more, its future safe in the hands of its people, and in the courage of one human who refused to fail. The morning sun rose over Zithra, casting golden light across the crystal rivers and glowing forests. Birds with wings like shimmering glass sang softly as the gentle wind carried the scent of flowers across the palace gardens. Queen Lysera stood on the balcony holding Alia's hand. The little girl had slept peacefully through the night, finally free from fear. Marcus Hale watched from a distance, leaning against the railing of the palace's outer platform. The mission was complete. Alia was safe, her mother reunited, and the raiders defeated. Yet Marcus knew that the work of courage, wisdom, and human ingenuity was never truly finished. Every action had consequences, and every bond had the power to shape the future. Lysera turned to Marcus, her face glowing with gratitude. Captain, you have given more than a rescue. You have given hope. You have reminded my people that even in darkness there is light, and not just light, strength, courage, and compassion. Marcus nodded humbly. I only did what any human would do. But maybe it shows what humans can be when we face impossible odds. We don't give up. We don't abandon those who need us. We fight with heart as much as with skill. The Queen smiled. Your heart, Captain, has changed the course of our history. Not only for Alia and me, but for our people and the bond between our worlds. Humanity will always be welcome here on Zithra. Alia tugged on Marcus's sleeve, her eyes bright. Will you teach me how to be brave like you? She asked. Marcus knelt to her level, smiling warmly. You already are brave, kid. You faced fear and stayed strong. Courage isn't just fighting, it's believing in hope, even when things seem impossible. You'll grow stronger every day, and I'll be here to help when you need it. The Queen led Marcus through the palace halls, showing him rooms filled with glowing flora, crystalline libraries, and ancient artifacts. We wish to share our knowledge with you, she said. Our science, our art, our understanding of the stars. You have shown us the value of humanity, and we wish to learn from you as well. Marcus nodded. Humans have much to offer, but we also have much to learn. Knowledge is strongest when it's shared. This is the start of something greater than any one planet or people. Over the next few days, the palace became a hub of collaboration. Scientists, engineers, and scholars from both worlds exchanged ideas. Humans shared their engineering methods, space travel techniques, and problem-solving strategies, while the Aelari offered insights into planetary ecosystems, energy crystals, and ways to live in harmony with nature. Marcus watched as humans and Aelari worked side by side, realizing that the galaxy could become a place of cooperation, not just conflict. Alia spent her days learning, playing and exploring, always accompanied by Marcus or her mother. She asked endless questions about humans and their ships, their training, and their courage. How do humans stay so calm in danger? She asked one afternoon. Marcus chuckled. We practice, we trust each other, and we never forget why we do what we do. The goal is always to protect life, not just win a fight. The little girl's eyes widened. I want to help people too. Maybe one day I can travel like you and help others in need. You will, Marcus said confidently. Humans and Aelari together can do incredible things, and courage grows every time you help someone. Meanwhile, the raiders were scattered. Some had been captured and imprisoned in secure orbiting stations, while others had fled into the depths of space. Without the ability to manipulate Alia or threaten the Queen, their plans had failed. Humanity's combination of intelligence, courage, and teamwork had foiled them completely. Lysera called a council meeting in the palace, inviting Marcus to witness the decisions made for the safety of Zithra and its people. Captain Hale, she began, Your actions have shown us that humans are a force for good. We will fortify our defenses not just with technology, but with alliances and understanding, and we will always remember the day you brought hope back to our world." Marcus stood silently, honored but modest. "Alliances work both ways, Your Majesty. Humans can offer strength, but trust and cooperation must be shared. That's the only way peace lasts." Outside, the Aelari citizens celebrated. Alia ran through the gardens, laughing as Marcus joined her, teaching her small lessons in balance, coordination, and courage. Parents watched with relief, inspired by the story of how a human soldier had braved impossible danger to bring one of their own home. Lysera approached Marcus during the celebration. "You've done more than save my daughter. You've given all of Zithra hope for the future. We will not forget this, and neither will I," Marcus nodded. "It's what humans do. We see a need, we rise to it, and we remember those who trust us." As the days passed, Marcus prepared to return to human space. The mission had succeeded, but the lessons learned and the bonds formed were far more important. Alia hugged him tightly. "Promise you'll come back?" she asked. "I promise," Marcus said firmly. "And maybe next time you'll show me some of your world too." Lysera approached, placing her hand on his shoulder. "Captain, before you leave, accept this." She handed him a small glowing crystal pulsing with warmth. "It contains the energy of Zithra and the gratitude of my people. May it guide you, as your courage has guided us." Marcus accepted it, feeling the weight of responsibility and the honor of trust. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I will carry it with pride." The Valor prepared to depart. As the engines hummed to life, Marcus glanced back at Zithra one last time. The twin moons reflected on the oceans and forests, a serene image of peace restored. Humans had proven themselves capable not just of surviving in the galaxy, but of protecting, inspiring, and uniting. Alia waved from the balcony. "Goodbye, Marcus. Come back soon." "I will," he called, smiling. "Keep being brave." As the Valor launched into space, Marcus reflected on the journey. The galaxy was vast, filled with dangers, mysteries, and civilizations both friendly and hostile. But humans, with their courage, intelligence, and compassion, could face anything. The story of Zithra would spread, inspiring other worlds to trust, to cooperate, and to believe that good could triumph over evil. Months later, Marcus received a message from Queen Lysera. It was a simple transmission, filled with Alia's laughter and words of thanks. "We are learning so much from each other," the Queen wrote, "and we will always remember the human who showed us hope and courage." Marcus smiled, sharing the message with his crew. Humans had faced countless challenges in history, but this mission reminded them of why they endured, why they explored, and why they helped. They were more than survivalists. They were protectors, heroes, and symbols of hope in a vast and often dangerous universe. On Zithra, life returned to normal. The city thrived, the forest glowed, and Alia grew stronger every day. She learned lessons in courage, empathy, and problem-solving. Inspired by the human who had risked everything to bring her home, she dreamed of exploring the stars one day, carrying the same values that had saved her life. Queen Lysera often spoke of Marcus and humanity to her people, teaching the next generation about bravery, compassion, and the power of helping others. The story became legend, the day a human crossed the galaxy and reminded an entire world of hope. And in the stars beyond Zithra, Marcus Hale continued his missions, knowing that every life saved, every bond formed, and every act of courage could ripple across the universe. Humanity had proven itself worthy of its place among the stars, not through dominance, but through heart, intelligence, and the willingness to stand for what was right. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers and wonders alike, but Marcus had learned something simple and true. When humans rise to a challenge, when they act with courage and compassion, they leave a mark that cannot be erased. Zithra shone below him, a testament to hope restored, families reunited, and the power of a single human to change the course of history. The stars beyond promised more adventures, more missions, and more opportunities to prove that humans, in their hearts and minds, could rise above any obstacle. And somewhere deep in space, a human soldier smiled, knowing that the galaxy was a little safer, a little brighter, and full of hope because of courage, determination, and the belief that no life should ever be abandoned. The universe was wide, full of mysteries and dangers, but humans were ready. Humanity was capable of greatness, and the story of Marcus Hale, Alia, and Queen Lysera would echo across worlds, inspiring hope for generations to come. The legacy of courage, compassion, and human ingenuity had been written across the stars, and it was only the beginning.